Hello everyone, welcome back to Tank Wars 3. I am your host Chromoid, and we have today another secondary bracket match, this time between a Nickel with his boxes on wheels and little stabbers facing off against the team fielded by GXY, Team Throwback Troop, I believe is what they're called, featuring a Tonk Cycles, an Apocalypse, the Trilobite, and 3 Smokes. So, with those introductions out of the way, let's go ahead and get this fight started. 3, 2, 1, begin. Quick reminder, those of you who haven't been following too closely, this is secondary, meaning that anyone who loses here is out of the tournament permanently. I swear I can English. It's the only language I know. Well, the boxes are advancing. They're already doing a lot better than in their last match, where they were cut down without mercy very swiftly. The Atonk cycles on the side, well, aside from one, are pretty much scooting out of the way so they can use their missiles from afar, but this one's not going to be using anything as the missile just got cut off the back of it. It stayed a little too long with its back facing some very nasty approaching enemy tanks. Alright, that is a weird look. One of the one of the barrels got snapped off on the Apocalypse. Fortunately, it has two, so it can use the second one. Trilobite is advancing slowly with this massive frontal shield guard and the cannon pointing straight through it. And our little stabbers, or no, these are smokes. Our smokes are backing it up with direct support. There's a missile coming out. The missile's coming out of the back of, or out of the sides of the Trilobite. Very nice. It might be coming out of the shield on the side. It's hard to tell on this thing. Anyway, big box on wheels, little boxes on wheels. They're all rolling around here, firing crams back at their opponents. Skimming the ground. That one didn't quite make it. This big box is taking a bit of a pounding. Not too bad. I believe it's the one that's at 98.2. It's just superficial armor damage at this point. That can always change at the drop of a hat once some armor goes. Ooh, that explosion went underneath the Trilobite, lifting it off the ground. I think it's okay. Yeah, it turned around. I was like, excuse me? I think I have something to deal with. That got its attention for sure. A Tonk Cycle's still upright, still living, so not necessarily getting knocked out as quickly as they were last time. It's a shame that this one took so long to turn around and gave the enemy that hit on its turret, which pretty much made it useless for the rest of this fight, except as like part of the resource pool, or the health pool, I should say. But the rest of them still have their missile launchers. If I'm not mistaken, these actually fire large missiles, which is pretty impressive. So yeah, they're not to be trifled with. In fact, taking out the missile launchers is probably a really good thing because they do have some serious damage, and the smokes can stay at range and pump some decent fire into the sides of anything that does not have heavy armor like this big box on wheels. The large missiles come flying in. They do miss the little stabbers just by a hair. You look at how big these are. That's oh no. Oh, that barely misses its teammate. But yeah, any missiles you see, I think, are going to be exclusively launched by Team Throwback Troop, as I'm pretty sure all of a Nickle's team is just crams. It's all crams. Always has been. Pretty wide-ranging battle, hard for me to keep track of everything. We got a Tonk Cycle facing off with one of the boxes on wheels. Got another one kind of coming up, throwing missiles at whoever it pleases. One of the little stabbers seems to have been grounded, or it's just stopped because it's found an enemy that it could kill, and that's the Apocalypse that has been finally dismantled. That's going to be a huge hit for GXY's team. That's not good at all. It's not what you want to see. Oop, that missile went underneath one of the boxes. Unfortunately, didn't do enough damage. We've got a series of blocks over here lying on the ground. I think it's just the Trilobite shedding some blocks as it does while it's trying to chase something up the hill. Unfortunately, it got itself stuck on the side of the mountain and now is unable to move. That's very unfortunate. Oh, HE shell launches it up the slope from one of the boxes on wheels and gives it the boost it needs to get up over the incline and chase after the big box. Look at that. Unintentional assist. That's griefing right there, box on wheels. You're not supposed to help the other team. Although, is it really help? I guess it is helping because he gave it its mobility back. It's more dangerous without the mobility. With the mobility, it's more dangerous. And there go the missiles phasing out of existence through the hill. Nothing I can do about that. I don't know why shells don't like slopes in FTD. They tend to just vanish when they hit them. But that one didn't because it hit the shield on the Trilobite. Meanwhile, over here, we have some more DQs going down. A smoke got disqualified. I'm assuming it got wrecked by these other tanks over here. I haven't been paying attention to them much. Still got that turretless Atonk cycle, now causing trouble for its teammates, slowing them down. That's not what they need to be doing. They need all that they can get out of that little bouncing missiles, parts of missiles. I think the missiles on the Atonk cycles have taken a hit. Yeah, it's missing a few blocks on one of the gantries, which means that missile is now only half of what it used to be, and that's a shame because those large missiles can actually pack quite a punch if you equip them correctly. Oh, there's Rambot. I left him in the middle of this. He's just watching this like, what in the world? Where am I? It's not the strangest thing he's going to see today, trust me. Oh, that's cool. I did not realize the smokes have a have a grenade launcher on them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think it's a 60 millimeter. Meant to strip off any light blocks that they might encounter, as well as firing these HE blocks. I'm pretty sure the entire design of the smokes is just to strip off any light unprotected valuables on top of larger tanks or any other vehicles. A bit of a detection stripper, if you will. You know, helps to pick off and chip away at anything that was foolishly left unguarded on top of or around tanks. At least that's what I would assume based on the design. Oh, can take a hit too. Look at that. I think it just lost. Yeah, it lost the grenade launcher, but the cannon's still working. Although after that frag hit, I am starting to think, yeah, no, the cannon's no longer working. That was two very precise shots coming in from its opponents that not only took out the turret, but cored it from the inside out, and that's going to be a dead smoke. Another smoke rolling up to avenge its fallen comrade, the last one of its kind on the field. All four Atonk cycles are still in play. The Trilobite and the Apocalypse have both fallen now, and I think this is rapidly swinging in favor of a Ickle, who has done an admirable job of holding onto his place in the tournament and is going to be rewarded for it by a victory very soon, I feel. These big boxes on wheels have done a great job of just soaking damage. This one, obviously, the gun no longer functions properly. You can see it's firing blanks, which is a sign that the cram mechanism inside has been somehow disconnected or otherwise damaged, and it can no longer actually fire a shell. It just kind of does that. But the rest of the boxes are still operational. I believe most of the little stabbers are still... Well, one little stabber is dead. I don't know if that was through friendly fire or through the efforts of one of these vehicles. But, yeah, I think that's about it. The Atonk cycles have all lost their turrets at this point, except for this one, which is now immobile for some reason. It's still moving. It's got one functioning gantry, but the turret's not working anymore. We're going to have some DQs going down, I feel. This Atonk cycle over here has been flipped over, and this box on wheels has gotten itself stuck in pursuit. Probably the AI having an issue with trying to turn on the hills and not having enough power to get over them. But once that Atonk cycle is destroyed, it will probably suffer DQ points because it's way too far away from the rest of the action. Although the rest of these might have that issue too if they kill everything over here first. And it depends. The smoke is still alive, oddly enough. Are both of these two damaged to... Oh! Both the big boxes on wheels have taken enough damage. They're no longer firing effective shells. They're firing blanks. Huh. Look at that. Well, the smoke is safe from those. I don't know what to say about that. One of the little stabbers no longer has a cannon, which leaves only one that's still effective. How many of these vehicles are still active and actually have guns that work? I'm thinking both of the boxes here have working guns. I'm pretty sure this one does too. Yeah, it's got a working gun. It's just stuck on a hill. There's not a lot of power on these boxes to get them up those steep slopes, which I think might have been intentional. Oh no. Don't hit each other. That's not helping anybody but the enemy. Now they've run into each other. They're going to get stuck. Well, regardless, as long as nobody gets disqualified from Ickle's team, I think he should pull out ahead. Yeah, he's at 90% to GXY's 32% now after landing 2 consecutive shots on this stranded Atonk cycle. Still alive, but very much ineffective at this point. It's I think the engine's been destroyed as well, or at least incapacitated. It's so funny watching these two massive land cruisers just kind of fling blanks at this one smoke as he tries desperately to whittle them down in time. I don't think that HE is going to be doing much, bud. Yeah, you're going to do some superficial damage, but I don't think you're going to do the damage you want to do to these things. pretty sure these got damaged in their scuffle with the Trilobite and the Apocalypse. I'm pretty sure that's what did the business for them. And I mean that's gonna hurt the kill time for a Ickle. Definitely, it'd be nice if both those guns were working, or even one of those guns were working. But I think he's got enough backup firepower coming in to take care of business. Oh, that's a big hit. Lifting the smoke clean up into the air, and that cored the AI. So they are fragile from the bottom, the smokes, and that has come into play here. And I think, is that it? Did my game crash, or is that it? Oh, my game crashed. Well, looking at the scores, it's 23.6 to 90.4%. I think we're going to call it here and give the victory to a Ickle, because honestly, outside of every one of his tanks disqualifying, I don't see it happening. So I'm sorry, GXY. Your tanks have been pretty roundly defeated. With a minute left to go, I don't see them coming back from it. And Ickle, you're going to be continuing on in the secondary brackets. Thank you all for watching. I've been Chromoid, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one once I finish fixing this mess. Bye-bye.